And this is totally outside of what the classical use case of travel. I think the name of the game is the longer you're away from home, the more you want to be in a home. And I think Airbnb is a great way to do that.
Brian, as you just mentioned, you're seeing a whole mix of different lengths of stays. And, you know, that longer term stay, 28 days or more, I know has been increasing. But I wonder, what do you think? Has it peaked? Do you think it will ever make up more than a quarter of total bookings?
I don't think it's even come close to peaking. And why is this? Well, let's start with number one. This was actually our fastest growing segment even before the pandemic, monthly stays. What happened is the pandemic has untethered millions of people from the need to be in an office 5 days a week. And as more people are flexible, we're seeing people go to thousands of communities, staying for weeks, months, or entire seasons at a time. So in Q4, we saw 22% of our nights booked were for monthly stays. That's largely quite well ahead of what it was before the pandemic. I do think this is going to, over the long run, rise. It might go up or down quarter to quarter, but as people get more flexible, fewer people are going to be in permanent residences. Now, families probably can't do this, but we do think families are going to go away more and more for the summer as they are more flexible. So we're seeing every length of stay increase. The only other thing, Deirdre, I'd just say is nearly half our nights booked are now for stays of a week or longer. And this is totally outside of what the classical use case of travel. I think the name of the game is the longer you're away from home, the more you want to be in a home. And I think Airbnb is a great way to do that.
So what kind of opportunity does that open up for Airbnb? I know that we've talked about this in the past and you've polled, you know, your followers on Twitter to give you some suggestions. Yeah. Specifically though, Brian, what's your appetite these days for M&A now that you guys are becoming a more profitable company? You're leaving sort of the pandemic behind you. Are you guys actively looking at companies, especially in the given market environment where we have seen, you know, some appealing high growth software names get beaten down?
I mean, we're always open to M&A. We've done some very important acquisitions in our history, including Luxury Retreats. It's the cornerstone of our luxury offering, and then Hotel Tonight, which is one of the best hotel booking apps in the world. We're always going to be opportunistic about M&A. But the great thing about Airbnb is we do not need to acquire companies to continue to grow because we have a global network. We have nearly every type of home in nearly every community at nearly every price point all over the world. I think our results show that we are an adaptable model, but we're also a company built on innovation. We are a design-driven company through and through. We made 150 upgrades last year, and we some huge new innovations. So to me, M&A is opportunistic, but it's not a necessity to continue growing. But if we see great companies in a good economy or a bad economy, we won't hesitate.